How do you get an invite? Like, what happens?
So basically you have to go through like an application process. You have to send a bunch of like reasons why you think you should be in there. You have to get like, what do they call it? You have to get like recommendations from other riders or like previous Rampage athletes, endorsements, that's what they call it.
Okay.
And then send a bunch of videos. Basically like, you have to try and convince them that you should be in Rampage.
Yeah.
And then they go through, there's like a panel who goes through everyone and then decides who is going to be in. So
Wicked.
I think it's the same for the guys. Like obviously there's a previous like top 8 men or however many that automatically get in, and then the others have to apply.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it's done.
Amazing. So when did you actually find out you definitely had a place then?
I think I found out in August. Or maybe like end of July. So it wasn't very long until the event. So I had no idea. I honestly didn't think I was going to get in. So when I got the news, I was like just absolutely gassed and I couldn't believe it. But then I was also like, right, I need to get to work because it's like not far till Rampage. So yeah, super stoked.
Yeah. I mean, for me, with any event that I kind of end up with, there's always that panic training phase. And I guess like, how do you prepare? How do you get ready? What work needs to be done to be ready for Rampage?
I mean, like I had no idea because I'd never done it before. So I just did what I thought would be the best thing to do basically. Because I dig a lot anyway, I felt pretty prepared on like the digging, physically prepared for the digging side of things. But for the riding side, I definitely would do it differently if I got invited back. I basically I built a flat drop to my airbag and I learned some flat drop tricks. I practiced a bunch of tricks. I basically just focused on the tricks. And it turned out that I didn't even end up doing any of those in my Rampage run. What I should have done is gone and ridden like some really gnarly, jank, loose, steep stuff. And basically, and just which I did. Myself and Vinnie Armstrong went out early and we rode in Utah for a bit and kind of got used to the terrain because it's so different to anything we have at home. But yeah, I did a bit of that, and then at home I was training tricks wise, which I was really hoping to be able to do in my Rampage run, but it was so much gnarlier and so much harder to build the perfect trickable jumps out there first time. So yeah, but I'm stoked to have these new learns that I can use going into the future anyway.
Yeah, it's only going to make you a better rider, I guess. Is there was there gym stuff as well? I know you quite like doing your gym work alongside the riding, but I'm guessing bench press and things that enable you to absorb big drops and stuff. But
yeah, I was pretty busy going to jam events still. So yeah, between those I was those are cool because that was almost I was practicing riding at those events anyway. So the riding side of it was taken care of. Then I was in the gym as much as I could and then digging as much as I could. So just a bit of everything, which is what I love doing anyway. So Rampage training was kind of the dream.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Not bad. And you'd been out before, right, to that kind of general area with Red Bull Formation, which I guess was a sort of a warm-up for the first Women's Rampage. Is that fair?
Yeah, the whole sort of concept behind Formation was to build these events up so that eventually we would get invited to Rampage. It's like a road to Rampage sort of thing. So big up to Katie Holden, who's the founder of those events, and it's just got us to where we are now. So it's definitely done the job after 3 formations. Getting a Rampage invite is so sick.
Yeah. Well, and how different was the site that you ended up on versus where you've done the formation stuff in the past?
So the last formation that we were at the 2015 Rampage site. So there's already they'd had a bunch of Rampages there before. There's loads of stuff all over the hill already built, and Formation only has I think 3 or 4 dig days. So obviously there would be you would never be able to build a top to bottom run in that time. So we're kind of rebuilding old Rampage features and adding a bit of our own ones in. And the zone was much mellower. So this one that we got given, it was a super steep venue, super steep. Super gnarly. There was one main ridgeline, which most people stuck to sort of going up and down that ridgeline, meandering across it. A couple of the girls went down the left or the right. but there wasn't a ton of room. So there was a lot of like working together with other athletes to kind of like collab on features or make sure like features don't clash, which like kind of cross over the ridge lines at similar times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, completely different to formation that we had a couple of years ago. So yeah, huge amount of learned coming away from that event. It was crazy.
Yeah. And a good group of athletes, right? Like I guess you all know each other pretty well. You've competed together, you've ridden at jams together. Like I assume there was a pretty good vibe between the women competing. Yeah,
for sure. Like we're all in the same boat. You know, none of us had ever done Rampage before. So it was such a sick vibe. Like everyone was learning a lot each day. Everyone was like I said, in the same boat. Everyone was kind of like supporting each other because it was such a gnarly environment and so intense that like, you just had to be stoked for each other and like build each other up. Otherwise it would have been like so stressful.
Do you all stay together? Is there like a compound or an accommodation where everyone gets together? Like what's the logistics set up in that respect?
No, for like so for formation it was like that. We all had like one massive house and we all hung out and stayed together. But for Rampage you're like left to your own devices basically, like book your own accom, everything. It's actually there's a lot of logistical admin involved in like getting yourself and your team to Rampage and getting yourselves around and getting a place to stay, all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
But so I was, myself and Vinny were sharing a place just because it's pretty expensive out there. So to like share with another team made sense.
Yeah.
But everyone's like on their own basically.